All right, we is on the air.
Okay, my computer monitored over here and told me to. So I was like, okay, good. All righty. Peaceful greetings to y'all. Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazil Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, welcome to our 7-day tropical medical astro weather report, and I'm here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, Sean Aline L. And we're about to give flash testimonies, right? Just knock it out with the quickness and go over these next 7 days in advance for the 25th to the 31st, January 2024. All right. So with that being said, I will be kicking it off. However, let me actually show the calendar, right, for said 7 days in advance and start the broadcast. All right. And so here we are, right, with our, let me just at least bring it to the beginning, right? Welcome to our 7HealStar Astro calendar for March Aries 2023 to February Pisces 2024. Time never was when man was not, and we are quoting Al-Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali doing religious corporate activity via affidavit, being prophet, noble, Drew, Ali. Gratitude indeed, peace be unto ye. So now, guys, we are here, of course, with the moon cycle that has both Capricorn and Aquarius within it. The earth sign Capricorn, the sea goat, not just the goat, right, but the sea goat, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius, the air sign, the water bearer, anciently ruled by Saturn, however, contemporarily identified with Uranus being the ruler. And we are here for January, right? January. And we're, again, guys, going through the 25th through the 26th. I, Brother Hasan Ghazil Bey, will be knocking out the 25th. As you guys can see, the first thing we'll be speaking about for the 25th after the sunrise, our first testimony will be for Luna ingressing Leo 36 minutes after 0200 hours after a 8 hour and 38 minute void of course today. And guys, remember Eastern, that is happening at 1700 hours and 58 minutes or 5:58 post meridian Eastern. Adjust your time zones accordingly. After Luna makes its trine to Neptune, it will be void of course for 8 hours, 38 minutes. I trust you guys remember, make no major transactions or decisions during that time. Wait till after 2:36 anti-meridian Eastern, and again, adjust your time zones accordingly to, do your transactions and major decision making. All righty. So we have those 3 testimonies after that Luna ingressing Leo. As you guys can see, we're having a solar lunar reflection at 54 minutes afternoon, which is termed the full moon, right? Which means we won't see the full moon in the northern hemisphere because obviously that's just 54 minutes after high noon, right? For the 26th, Brother Sean Lee Mel on the holy day goes in on that one testimony, right? Luna square Uranus, and then Luna's void of course for 21 hours and 52 minutes, guys. So that means make all your transactions between 2:36 a.m. on the 25th until about 4:19 p.m. And that's Eastern time. So adjust your time zones accordingly. But then, guys, you see, you don't want to make any major transactions or decisions from 4:19 post-meridian Eastern, which is 16:19 Eastern, until about 1400 hours and 11 minutes Eastern, or 2:11 post-meridian Eastern, where the moon will then ingress Virgo. All righty, where I will be giving my diverse testimonies there for those 2 transits and that lunar ingress into Virgo. So 21 hours, guys. Remember, moon void of course is buyer's remorse. So when we know that Luna is void of course, we do not want to make any major transactions or any decisions. If you don't believe, which we don't want you to, we don't want you to at all, never believe anything we say. But you want to test the waters, go right ahead and transact for something during the moon void of course. 9 times out of 10, you're either going to be returning it It's not going to be the experience that you wanted with whatever it is that you transact for, or eventually it will deteriorate sooner than you expected. You know, hold on, the warranty says this long, but it already broke. Well, it's okay. It's already in warranty. We'll just replace it. And every time you replace it, it will never be the experience you want because it was done during a moon void of course when it was obtained. All righty. For the 28th, Brother Sean Lino goes in on those 6 testimonies there. For the 29th, Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey goes in on those 5. As we see, there's another void of course moon taking place for 8 hours and 44 minutes and will not ingress Libra until the 30th, right? So there's another void of course moon, guys, on the 29th for Monday. You want to make all final transactions at 1800 hours, 20 minutes Eastern, or 6:20 post meridian Eastern. And the moon will not ingress Libra until 4 minutes after 0300 hours on the 30th, where Brother Sean will go in on that lunar ingress into Libra, as well as those 2 testimonies for Luna trine Pluto and Luna square Venus. For the 31st, I'll be closing out with those 2 testimonies there for the solar lunar trine and the lunar Martian quartile there, all righty, where Luna squares Mars. All righty, so guys, let's just get on with the get on. Brother Sean, any announcements or anything before we get started, bro? You want to let people know anything?
Yeah. I don't know if I should make a flyer or not, but you know, we'll be doing a special for Valentine's Day for those couples
for
and
those
also
Valentine's, yeah.
Right, you know, and also for the singles as well, you know, like it'd be good to, you know, really know yourself, your love nature, and what you should look for, so that all these mothers and brothers choosing the wrong people and complaining about it on social media can actually have some healing and pick the right ones. So,
all the single ladies. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. So that's up. And yeah, guys, make sure you support us, share us out. Because what I've really seen, 7HealStar needs to be shown more, and those who are jockeying off 7HealStar needs to actually pay it forward and say, "Hey, this is where I got this from," you know, rather than trying to take charge of the situation. And to all those people out there hating on Prophet Noble Drawley, I would take that back because it's not going to be pretty for you. And I yield on that, yo.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, man. A lot of people don't recognize that they're on thin ice, and I can just skate how I want to. It's like, okay, enjoy hypothermia, you know, because no one's coming to save you out of those cold waters that you allowed yourself to break through thin ice to be in. All righty. So yeah, and Brother Sean's absolutely correct. We were just discussing, like, no one really comprehends the astrology because they're really not qualified unless you are being a sincere Moorish American. As we shared on Friday, when we went over on Friday, completing Clock of Destiny Book 1, and you know, due to a few Moors, requesting, so I'll say due to popular demand, we'll be beginning this Friday Clock of Destiny Book 2. And it shows that the only people that can really teach the astrology sincerely for real are Moors. That's it. And I get it. We're all Moors on the planet. I get it, even pale skin. However, my spirit says those of us that are sincerely in harmony with nature, honoring Prophet Noble Drawley. Let me say it like that. All right. So with that being said, let's just get right into this thing, man. Me and Sean gotta knock this out because we gotta get to that law study that we do, right? So let me go to ski. Let's hit the share button right there. Remote control. Sean,
remote control.
Control, indeed. You know what I didn't do? I did not, because I'm still looking like I'm in the future here. right? So let's bring this back to the 25th January, right? And let's get that date there, right? And now let's look at Sun, right? Conjunct the ascendant, and we want that at 0 degrees, 0 minutes. And let's see what we have here. Let's go previous, right? Make sure we can see that solar ascendant conjunction there, all right? So here we go, here we go, here we go. All righty, so let me just knock this thingeth on outeth, all righty? So with that being said, Sun's conjunct the ascendant at 5 degrees, right? 5 degrees is a Leonian degree for us. So we'll say even with Sun being in its exile sign, right? Feeling out of place, it is at a degree for this particular sunrise for Thursday, 25th January, 2024, 0700 hours, 24 minutes, and 9 seconds here. Alrighty, ruling over the 7th house, I say here's where we can really reflect on our relationships with our little ones, as well as probably our relationships with our progenitors, those that we come from, whether it's a mother, father, grandparents, great grandparents, and just really allow ourselves to reflect on these things and be able to have some information and knowledge pour out about our loved ones to the point where maybe we can even find ourselves planning, so to speak, to get with our loved ones in some future event. And with that, I yield the floor. Before sunrise, at about 36 minutes after 0200 hours, Luna's going to complete its 8-hour and 38-minute void of course after being trine to Neptune, right? It's going to ingress Leo, and Luna's ingressing Leo within the 8th house, right? Oh, Brother Sean, you know what I didn't do here? Most people aren't used to seeing the chart this way, right? So let me, if you don't mind, just, save where we are. Let me hit yes. And guys, with Luna ingressing Leo here, right? During this time here, right? In the 8th house, this just really lets me know that, the people are really looking to find a way to be playfully psychologic, so to speak. Very interesting how the moon is helping to co-rule with Mercury over the entire 8th house. I think this is where we are getting comfortable with not only psychology, but being able to communicate with our loved ones. Maybe here there will be some dream visitations. Maybe ones will actually see maybe a loved one from not too long ago. And there you go, Brother Sean. Not too long ago, they'll see a loved one, right? Maybe pop up in their dream. What's very interesting too, with the moon being in the 8th house, the 8th sign is on the rise in the zodiac at a Geminian degree. All righty. And I'll just say here, this is where we can allow ourselves to probably be very playful in how we're, valuing our relatives. Maybe even also, maybe there is some, maybe before resting and recharging, or maybe once the next day comes about, right before, sunrise or after sunrise. This is where people may recall something, hilarious or humorous about a loved one who's passed away. Maybe it's one's grandmother or mother who has transitioned, and one is just absolutely remembering something hilarious that they've said. Interestingly, Mars is there in the 2nd house, also at a Geminian degree, very Geminian, right? Gemini type degree, but just the values, right? Exalting the values of something that was communicated by maybe one who has transitioned. And with that, I yield the floor. Now, Luna, it's very interesting talking about that. And then Luna is going to reflect Pluto next, right? So Luna's reflecting Pluto at 0 degrees, 8 minutes. It's in Leo in the 8th house, and Pluto, of course, is in the 2nd. This is here where, the people are, reflect on them being very powerful with the resources that they have, with what they have, and recognizing their power to be able to begin journeying towards correcting those that are in positions of quote unquote leadership. Again, this is furthering the theme that the people will recognize that they are the heads of government, who are to thoroughly know how to direct, instruct, and discipline those that are sitting in the seats of any assumed legislative, executive, or judicial branches, for example, or any other position of some type of governing energy. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, what we're actually seeing here is the solar lunar reflection term to full moon happening 53 minutes and 46 seconds after 1200 hours afternoon for the 25th January 2024. And this is, again, our perspective is from the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. And we're looking at a tropical regiomontanous house-styled chart. I know most people are like, well, it's usually Placidus. Yeah, no, I'm just kind of doing some, some traditional old school stuff and just really seeing how things are turning out here. Okay, so this Virgoan, oh, you love me. Oh, thank you. I love you. Thank you. So this Virgo wind degree, right? You know what? Oh, yes. I would love some of that. And but definitely water. Please, thank you. My imaginary girlfriend that women flirt with me in my DM that they think she doesn't exist. Anyway, I know it's horrible, man. I had to tell a sister, like, stop messaging me. You're being rude in my DM. Like, anyway, this Virgo degree that the ascendant is at, which lets us know Mercury is ruling over this particular transit which is interesting. Both Luna and Sol are in their joys. I think this is amazing. And it's very interesting because it's dealing with communication and publishing. It's also dealing with early childhood development, education, and travel. So with that being said, with Gemini, being, the ascending sign or the rising sign with 6 degrees, right? Just 1 minute away from being on 7, but it's still a Virgo degree. And so I think here's where we'll be really getting into the details of, honoring how we're pairing our energies with either our relatives, a loved one. And I think here's where we'll be able to find how powerful we can be in taking on a leadership role in the joy in our lives, seeing that we are responsible for not only our happiness, but also our sadness or unhappiness. So I really think here's where the people will be able to thoroughly reflect on that which seems like a worldwide power, and they'll be able to thoroughly absorb. I got you, bro. No worries. I got you. They'll be able to thoroughly absorb and reflect on that transformative power to be able to help those that probably really missed what their actual purpose is. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I see that gratitude. I love you. I need at least one more. I only had 3 of them. Okay. So with that being said, yeah, I never did. You got me. Okay. So that's what I see. People reflect on your power. You have the power to change the governing energies that are taking place. Finally, Luna is squaring Jupiter, all righty? And this is taking place about 46 minutes after 1500 hours. 46 minutes, 3 seconds to be exact after 1500, all righty? And Luna is there in the first house. Jupiter is there in the 10th. First and 10th, right? So collectively speaking, the people could be reflecting on expanding their status. The people could be reflecting on gratitude, could be reflecting on how to really expand how they are amongst their peers, maybe even the essentials in their life, maybe even their career. So this is where I think when it comes to work, right? Because 6 degrees is where this is taking place, respectively in Taurus and Leo, right? Where the square is taking place. 6 degrees again, Virgo degree. Virgo, keyword, very simple Virgo, 6th house energy. Just naturally exudes, daily routine, maybe even pets. Also, service, work. Some will even say hidden enemies. So with that competition or even open enemies would be your colleagues. Maybe someone's competing for some kind of promotion. And maybe here one learns that instead of them being promoted, they were transferred with not as much of a promotion as they wanted to, or someone else received a promotion that they think was undeserving. However, I do see with Jupiter ruling over the 10th house, along with Neptune, of course, there in the ninth, Jupiter is ruling over the house that it's in, and so is Luna. And so I think here is where there may be a little bit of quote unquote home field advantage when it comes to one's career. However, it may also deal with the fact that a promotion may happen due to someone transitioning. Yeah, alrighty, they may have lost their life in a line of duty. I am not being a doom and gloom astrologer. I just know the fatalistic degree of 29 degrees Pisces, which is the 10th house cusp occupied position there. So, with that being said, with the moon in 6 degrees Leo and Jupiter at 6 degrees Taurus, I will say that is, and that's Antisha too, right? That's that shadow work, so to speak, energy there. I will say that here there will be a healthy creativity, so to speak. 17 degrees, the ascendant being a Leonian degree. There will be a healthy means to be very creative. So this may be in honor of someone who's already transitioned. And maybe this means also someone is receiving some type of promotion by way of some award of someone who has made some type of landmark accomplishments within that particular field, if not the actual business or corporation that ones are working for. And they are receiving that particular reward or award. So stay focused, people. Allow yourself to be recognized for what it is that you do at work, right? Despite what pain it may bring others or yourself if others are promoted. With that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we well pleased, Brother Sean Ali al-Islam.
Islam. All right, moving along to the holy day. All right, so we've got Sun at 6 degrees, 2 minutes Aquarius, ruling over one of the houses, that I, like to skip over, but we'll just rock on with it.
Stop it.
Yeah, Sun's at a Virgo in degree. So Sun's ego, personality, self-identity. But this is just giving me more of a internal realization here. And not only how one sees themselves, but how the world sees you. What is your actions that's being projected that is now being shown to you? Really seeing how you're being of service or how you can become more organized or how you can involve yourself in something in service, whether it's with the group or doing something with your friends, so um or maybe you wanting to be of service to your partner, which is why you should get that Synastry session. And for those that are single, hey, get your own session and learn your love language. And where you didn't have boundaries or let stuff go. It's all good for everyone to really just love themselves, and know how to balance out reason, logic, and emotions. With that, I yield the floor. And so the only aspect for this day is a Luna square Uranus. Come on, no seventh, no seventh. Yes, no seventh. Alrighty, so we got Luna in the second house, and Uranus is definitely in that 11th here. So this is kind of giving me like sudden changes after frustration. And this is a Libra degree, so maybe someone's about to receive some kind of inheritance or some finances, maybe some sort, or you have an idea for a creative project that at once you really couldn't do, but now getting some assistance from those on the internet, now you can move forward with this project, regardless if you have the finances or not. Just starting it and allow everything to fall into place. And Luna is also ruling the ascendant, which is at an Aryan degree. So maybe there's some leadership going on in the home, or maybe you're valuing your position as the black sheep, quote unquote, even though we know black means pale, but we know how we got to speak to most people when it comes to these colorful connotative terms. So really just embracing yourself and loving yourself and being your own justice, sharing from the heart and valuing the things that you value, and not letting anyone take that from you. All right. Yeah, and with that, I yield the floor. Luna will go void, of course, as Brother Hasan was saying. What is that? 21 hours and 52 minutes. So yeah, make sure you get all your purchases early. Before 4:19 Eastern, or just to your time zone, until 2:11 Eastern or your time zone Saturday. So get all your groceries and all the things that you need beforehand, because it's a long one. All right, and I yield, bro. Islam.
Islam. All righty. That sun is rising at 22 minutes and 41 seconds after 0700 hours for the 27th, right? At 7 degrees Aquarius, 3 minutes. And while this is happening, Luna is within its void of course, right? For that 21 hours and 52 minutes. So here's where you just want to be relaxing, reflecting. Be a good time too to probably plan on, doing some type of family game night, family movie night, kicking it with the relatives, right? Especially in a way that's just going to be balancing, right? With that 7 degrees there for this sunrise, all right? And this is where I think we'll be able to find that balance and thoroughly enjoy ourselves, right? Thoroughly enjoy ourselves. Very interestingly, though, how Saturn is there in Pisces and Uranus is in Taurus. Soon Saturn will sextile Uranus, right? And this is what I think is very interesting about that, being even sextile by sign, at least, being at 5 degrees, which is a Leonian degree, and a Libran degree, which is reflective, right? Sun is Leonian, 7 degrees is Libran, right? With 19 minus 12, where Uranus is what his brother Sean was saying, is a Libran degree. So I just see that there's this like continuity in this Leonian Libran type energy, which just really lets us know that this is where we can kind of have a warm moment during this void of course moon by just utilizing that energy to just enjoy. I would say, since it's a Saturday, it's nothing wrong with recreation. Just have some fun with recreation, guys. Maybe play some spades. Maybe play some Monopoly, some board games, right? With that, I yield the floor. Now, before sunrise, about 18 minutes after 0200 hours, is the solar Jupiterian quartile, right? Sun is square Jupiter. Sun is there at 6 degrees, 50 minutes in Aquarius in the third house, right? Interestingly, right, how they are reversed in their joys now, Luna and Sol. However, Jupiter is there in the sixth house in Taurus at 6 degrees, 50 minutes. So if this square taking place here in the third and sixth house, this is where I think we will allow ourselves to probably, not get upset if we're like, oh snap, the internet's down. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably some adjustments being made. Maybe you can finally hit update on your Apple device or Android device, because you've been just like later on the update. So here you can thoroughly update maybe some communication device, allowing that service to take place if you care to update. I will also say this is where also, maybe you are contemplating a conversation that you may have had with a child that may have been transformative, which will allow them to further expand their values for their everyday use. So, and if there was a conversation, maybe you are preparing for a responsibility to hand to a child that they may have not had before, whether it is having, their own key to the house. Maybe they can finally get behind the wheel. They've been, showing that they're responsible enough to be behind the wheel and be able to, travel responsibly, things of that nature. With that being said, I yield the floor. Next, we have a Mercurial Martian conjunction happening about just 1 minute before 10. It's actually at 0900 hours, 58 minutes, and 39 seconds. All righty, for the 27th January 2024. Now, Mercury and Mars, right? That's that, communication service, self self-inheritance, right? So I think here, and it's interesting too, because it's happening at a Leonian degree. I think this is further showing how to, probably have some type of sport, some kind of exercise with the children to, help further build the structure in the relationship. Because even here, this just speaks to some fun, loving experience with, either mother or father, or both mother and father. And so this just really just kind of shows me that this is where we can actively communicate some values, and further establishing our standing amongst our loved ones with even, the 10th house cusp at a Cancer degree. It just really further speaks to that familial energy. Maybe even probably, I think this is very interesting to even for me to even say this, where it's set with Saturn in its joy in Pisces in the 12th house, lets me know that this might even be a moment to either go into the photo album and look at some things and really show and point out some similarities of relatives prior to younger relatives, and be like, see, you look just like your great granddaddy. It's your great granddaddy when he was a baby. And now look at you. Y'all look just alike. It might be that kind of energy. And with that, I yield the floor. Luna is complete its 21 hours and 52-minute void of course when it ingresses Virgo at 11 minutes after 1400 hours. All right, just 11 minutes, 2 seconds after 1400 hours. Luna is ingressing Virgo in its joy, nonetheless, in the third house, because we know Moon has its joy in the third, as Sun has its joy in the ninth. With Luna here, this just really speaks to, it's very interesting. People may be considering really having a landline, not just one that's through the cable service internet, but an actual fiber optics line with a jack through the wall. People may actually be considering these things just in case, something happens with electricity. Because I know back in when I was younger, the electricity went out. The landline phone still worked because there was no depending on the cable company to provide phone service. It was actually a fiber optic landline through the wall. And I think here is where, family will really thoroughly consider some type of communication service that may be more permanent and helpful in times of an emergency. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, no more well, please, Brother Sean Alino, Islam.
Islam. All right, let's see. Oh, boom, there we go. All right, here we are for 28th for the Sunday, Soul Day. All right, we got the sun at 8 degrees, 4 minutes Aquarius. Right, so now we're at a Scorpio degree. So this is just giving inner transformation by one's own thinking. I think with a proper meditation, journaling, or however you can connect to yourself, whether it's through art, you like to go out in the nature, running, swimming, however you really connect with yourself on a deeper level. And if you don't, that's a really good time to find a practice for that. Maybe do it with your partner or some loved ones, or maybe somebody's business partner, or will either be invited or they'll buy them something to go to enjoy themselves. Like, hey, I got you this yoga package, or I got you Lasana or something like that. Really able to give you something to really bring out this transformation that's been brewing. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, we got Venus, sextile Saturn. Come on, no Saturn, no Saturn. Boom. All righty. Looks like Venus is there in the second house, 6 degrees Capricorn. And Saturn, as we know, is in that Pisces. All right. This is second and fourth. So yeah, this is communicating your values here. Especially if one has dealt with tough love in the past. I think with really realizing where you went wrong and allowed something to happen to you, now you can have this sense of closure and really surrendering to something that is greater than yourself, and really being a service to yourself. This is once again taking a short travel somewhere, taking care of yourself. Doing something that you might have been avoiding that you're responsible for, but you kind of just been like, not shit, right? Mars ruling the ascendant. Mars is in the third. So yeah, this is just getting active in your daily activities. But really, just in your mind. Your mind's the biggest battle, rather than anything that you think is external. So just working with those energies and yeah, doing something that you're passionate about. So if one's really not passionate in their day to day or not satisfied with their finances, just making the necessary changes and finding some creative pursuit that's in alignment with what you're passionate about. And with that, I yield the floor. Ooh, pardon me. Next up, we have a Luna Saturn reflection. Ooh, would you look at that? So Luna is in the ninth and Saturn's in the third. So definitely hanging tight onto those house cusp, as you say. Luna in the ninth. This is once again coming back to um the things that one has learned thus far as an adult, right? Saturn's in the third, so there's some kind of delay or a restriction of some sort on the things that you loved about your childhood. And now Luna, being in Virgo is like, hey, you might want to be more rational, more realistic about what you are learning now towards what you learned in your childhood. This has been able to see how you were brought up, but now know where you were at and realize like those things you learned as a child, might need to be shifted, but still embrace your inner child, but things that need to be put away. This is putting away and taking a look at oneself in the mirror and yeah, and just enjoying oneself, right? This is like some deep reflection here. And looking at the details of your life and also just seeing the bigger picture. And one might be fearful of something or something in the subconscious might come up to where now you can see the things that were seemingly block you or working against you that you weren't aware of. So just becoming aware and conscious of those things. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, next up we have a Luna Venusian trine. All right, we got whoa, hold up, take us back one time. Take us back one time. There we go. All right, so we got Luna still posted up in the ninth, and we have Venus in the second. So she's got some extra dignity there. Would you look at that? All right. So it's just back to literature and how one processes the information that they have come across. Um, yeah, this is being of service to yourself and really going to do some studies rather than dealing with belief systems. Because you might be too grounded in your belief systems, and now you're not able to rise above to the higher attainments of life because you're so stuck in a belief system that one has never took the time to go study, to go read besides what one has been taught or what has one been told. Man knows not by being told. So really allow yourselves to have this transformation of your mind um, by stepping outside of the box. Really find some new values in the things that you do or the things that you hold. And this is also, yeah, building up a steady foundation to, maybe go apply for some grants or maybe do some housework too, or maybe even this is like because I know I'm doing it, but it's funny. Like maybe even enrolling in some free courses, right, for some schools and universities, right? It's like one's like, oh, I don't have the finances for school. Hey, there's plenty of things that out there that are free. So, finding the free things that could be priceless and very beneficial, um, to your value system and your own philosophy. And with that, I yield the floor. Let's see. Wow, looks like we got a lunar trine Jupiter. Another benefic. Yo, Sunday's like a really good vibe day. Mm. right?
Yes, I
Luna.
gotta admit, the six degrees of the Earth signs are mega litty,
For
like for
real.
real.
Right. Ooh, looks like Jupiter's in the fifth now. Luna is still in the ninth. So, I mean, yeah, this is just, and this is on the Sunday. This is back to higher learning. Valuing the occult knowledge, right? And people are like, oh, it's hidden, but it's hidden in plain sight. Most people aren't just open to receiving new information because they have been taught to believe that they've been told everything, and there's a lot more that meets the eye, right? So Jupiter's in the fifth. That's abundant creativity, expansive creativity. So back to health and service, learning about herbs, learning about gardening, things that just connect you back to the earth. Um, bring you back to that connection one might have lost, grounding yourself, with earth, with the materials, with the resources that you are a part of, right? And apothecaries is coming up. So if you can to visit that, just go visit gardening places and parks, any of that. That's really gonna allow you to shift your perspective on the material and the resources and yourself. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, so now we've got a Mercurian Uranian trine. All right, Mercury's in the sixth, so that's some accidental dignity there. Uranus is in the 11th. So back to health and service. But I'm just really saying that might be a shift in how people serve each other and how those who serve you um could be changed. So smell like them puppies, right? So yeah, just allow the changes and transformations that are occurring, right? If it seems radical, have a check in with yourself, and ask you, is it somebody else energy or are you embracing your own energy? And if one has some pets, maybe go do a run or maybe even enroll them in some doggy training classes, right? That could be beneficial. Jupiter's actually ruling over Mercury, Mars, and Venus, and Jupiter's in the 10th. So yeah, there's like some endings, there's expansion of the endings and healing that's occurring when it comes to balancing it out how you communicate in that structure, what you're motivated to. How is that really a service to you? And just how you see love and how you unite and connect with others, really getting that hate out your heart. And that's really blocking having true and stable connections and relationships with other because you might want to blame others, but it really just might be you and you're avoiding yourself. So really allow yourself to have these conversations and expansion so that true change can occur. And with that, I yield the floor. And then finally, we got another benefic trine, right? Venus and Jupiter and Guru.
Bro, I gotta admit, like for Mercury and Uranus to be trying, like that's major good astrology energy too, man. I mean, guys, you guys got to get your mental magician reports from Brother Sean and get your mirror astro literacy session from I. All righty. So come on, like that's Sunday's lined up really good. It's also saying some other things that I won't say. That's some really good energy. Like to come off of that void of course for 21 hours and 52 minutes and then be able to do some things on that Saturday that will lead up to that Sunday, it is a wrap. I'm trying to tell you, it's really good energy.
What we got? What, chapter 7 Sunday?
That's interesting too, that's what we're going on. That's highly interesting.
Man, what is chapter 7? I don't know, I got to look around somewhere in here. What is chapter 7? That is Jesus explains to Lamas the meaning of truth. Oh my goodness.
Uh-uh.
And Jupiter's in the ninth. Ooh, with the accidental diggity. Oh yeah. Yeah, people are really gonna start coming around to their holy books and really be able to see deeper than what it is for face value, right? Venus trine Jupiter, and this is in the fourth and the ninth. So this is maybe even going over something that you might have come across, or you might watch some videos with your loved ones, or I'm just getting for some others that maybe what one of their passed on ancestors, possibly like your great great grandmother. Um, either visit you in your dreams or you'll be reminded of her, or you'll come across like a family book or diary, or even her journal. You'll be able to like really tap in with that energy and just connect with more of the feminine side of yourself. Um, Especially when neglecting it. And let's see, that ninth house cuts at 3 degrees, 33 minutes. So yeah, this is really just connecting in your mental. I just can't, you know, if you feel yourself feeling negative about things, catch yourself, and stop it. All right.
Bro, you want to know what's so funny? Each trine has been 6 houses away.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it has.
Like, bro.
Yeah, we're ready for you guys. We've been ready, but the question is, are
Yeah, like,
y'all ready?
yeah. It has to pour
Like,
in. Come on, guys, get your astrology done. I'm telling you, there are people that are finding out because they're like, all right, let me just take a chance. And they're getting their astrology done and they're recognizing that I and Brother Sean know what we're talking about, right? So, guys, we're telling you, seriously, get your mirror astrology session, AstroLiteracy session, and the mental magician report, right? Because I'm telling you, these are things that can be, every month and a half is like, okay, well, today I'm going to get the mental magician report, and then 45 days later, I'm going to go and get the, mirror session. And then 3 months after that, do it again. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's a different, report or reading Brother Sean can offer. And because I know that just alone, just out of the mirror sessions, we can give any type of mirror session, honestly. But there's 4 types that are paramount.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you guys, you can really learn a lot about yourself with this astrology. And I get it. We're technical and we love technicality. Some of you may not want to get into the technicalities and learn astrology, but we're about astro literacy and you learning it. But if you just want a reading, that's fine. However, the readings that you want takes prep. If you look at an astrology reading like a meal that you're eating, we had the sous chef and chef in preparation for that presentation pertaining to that meal. So the meal you might consume it in an hour, but there's about 2 hours of preparation that we need to do in advance. And so we're going to need to be compensated for that as well. And that's what is included. All righty. So we throw you a number or whatever when it comes to it, or we tell you what we are worth per hour. Don't sit there and be like, oh my God, that's too much. No, it's not. No, it's not. It really isn't. You know what I mean? You want something that we're just completely manufacturing and then it's, we're putting it together ourselves and you just want it all in an hour. Cool. It's going to be about, usually the amount's going to be more than when you're learning it yourself, honestly, because of the dynamics of the timing. But however, you won't be upset. I guarantee that because the insight that you'll have from it and what you'll see from it, and then what will give for you to be able to maintain it over time, you're going to be like, man, it's actually invaluable. And we know that. It's actually, like I said, if we were to put it in terms of how people comprehend using Federal Reserve notes, right? Dollars, United States dollars, right? What we do is worth 6 million a year minimum. And we're not making that up. We really know what we're doing and we know how it can really help people in their lives. All right. I yield the floor, bro.
Right. Yeah. It's just like for anybody that's worked in restaurants, when you got a food prep, think about the time it takes to get everything ready, and then when you actually serve it and people eat it, it goes a whole lot quicker. For that, or when you do a presentation. You think about all the hours that you put into writing a report, writing a lesson, and then you deliver it quick. It's the same thing with us, you know. It's not about, oh, just an hour. It's about the prep work and everything else. So, yeah, it's a really beneficial time to like really not be scared of yourself, to know yourself. And I'm telling you, like, if anybody thinks they don't need a session or healing or any of that, you wouldn't be here. I promise you. So, you know, I'm pretty sure here soon it's gonna be cool to know yourself and actually be in harmony rather than being in disharmony that's been promoted and popularized. Because, yeah, you know, people are about peace these days, and people are gonna be less about drama. So, you know, really value, you know, yourself and your values, and then, you know, your values might have to change in order to become more appreciative, but that's all right. You know, with that, I yield the floor.
Islam. All righty. Sunrise. It's taking place at 0700 hours, 21 minutes, and 4 seconds on the 29th, guys, at 9 degrees, 4 minutes, where that solar ascendant conjunctions taking place. Sun, of course, as always, as we're seeing so far during the sunrise, is ruling over the seventh house, dealing with relationships. 9 degrees, however, is a Sagittarian degree. All righty. And with that being considered, we are talking about erudition, right? Higher learning, right? Higher education, right? Erudition. And with that being said, this is where we can really allow ourselves to maybe look at a theme pertaining to the day where we can really learn, and not only learn, but be able to not only maybe teach something to someone youthful or younger than us, or teach something youthful or learn something youthful, maybe even also opening our hearts to our little ones to see what we can learn from them, all righty, to better help them get over the fascination and denial of being able to communicate with those that are older than them, to help create a healthy balance in being able to know how to communicate what's on their mind without any inhibitions. And with that, I yield the floor. For the 29th, happening 54 minutes after 0300 hours, we have Luna trine Mars. Luna trine Mars. Luna's there at 18 degrees Virgo, 37 minutes. Mars is there at 18 degrees Capricorn, 37 minutes. In the second house is where Mars is. Luna's there in the sun's joy in the ninth. And 18 degrees, nonetheless, again, a Virgoan degree. I'm telling you, man, that it's just like there's a huge health theme that's happening. It's definitely mental and physical that's really supreme that I'm seeing with this Virgo degree. Then the Virgo amount of houses, as far as 6 houses away, a lot of these aspects, like even this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses away, again, this aspect, it is amazing. All righty. And that's not how the trine normally works. The trine is usually 5 houses away. I mean, it's definitely 5 houses as far as whole sign houses away. But as far as this Regiomontanus, as we're seeing here in this tropical Regiomontanus house style chart, you know, what we're actually seeing here is that we can really allow ourselves to probably, value learning about something about health. Maybe, just maybe, you don't think things are so new age, or you're not looking at it as people are just doing magic and witchcraft with their herbs and essential oils. You can get past that and really take yourself seriously and really learning something and see how it affects your own body. All righty. Because 9 times out of 10, when you would take something as simple as like the salts of salvation, right? And really getting to know those cellular salts there, right? A few books that I have behind me, and really seeing how, they will actually help your body, and having those cell salts without any, milk products mixed in them. Sometimes you try to get, biochemical, cell salts. And they may have tainted it or mixed it with something else, but you may do the best to find out. Okay, well, hey, each sign of the zodiac pertains to the body and it has a biochemical cell salt attached to it that naturally happens in nature. However, what foods actually promote that or has those in it, or what else could there be technically supplemented without it? Being something that has an animal byproduct attached to it. What's very interesting is Luna's coming off of conjunction with Lilith here, with true Lilith. here, which means that we're allowing ourselves to get over our own fascination and denial with health and health studies and what we may think is out there. And we're just taking a chance to really say, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Let me read this for myself and see what I can get out of it. And then what you'll find is that you'll find yourself being very creative and transforming your own mind, renewing your own thinking, and being very active, and probably even sharing those values, because now you're beginning to see how it works for your own body and mind. And with that, I yield the floor. I got a bunch of trines too here, man. Luna's trine Uranus here, happening about 51 minutes after 0400 hours, 51 minutes and 6 seconds after 0400 hours, to be exact, for the 29th January 2024. Luna's there at 19 degrees Virgo, still in the ninth house. And Uranus, right? Uranus is there in the Taurus at 19 degrees. This is a Libran degree, bringing together things with balance. Maybe there's a semblance of justice that is happening 5 houses away. This trine is taking place. All righty. So it may be dealing with something with equity in terms of this. I don't really like the term family law. It's really just equity. And really probably seeing how asinine that idea is, and further studying and recognizing that anything dealing with family court is dealing off of one's parental rights being licensed to them by the state. If that's not you, which is usually everyone, unless you're a foster parent, if you're not a foster parent, all that family law statute stuff does not apply to you. And I trust that you're taking the time to really make the sudden changes necessary in your values about that, and really recognize that people are exerting a statutory energy on you that doesn't apply to you, which means they are warring against you, warring against your withstanding condition, which is your constitution. With stand, condition, right? So this is where you'll be making the sudden changes necessary. The people collectively will make this sudden change because they're paying attention more to how all statutes work. And if one is not licensed in any way, shape, or form, has no application or contract or oath of office, then 9 times out of 10, if not a million times out of 10, those things don't apply to them. So I trust that those of you out there that are learning jurisprudence, and maybe you're looking to cancel CPS as it's there on Lawful Living, this will be an energy that will help facilitate that, either prior to this or even lingering further into the day. With that, I yield the floor. Now we're looking at Luna trine Mercury here. This is where we're probably having, the people are having some type of communication, and it's very harmonious. Mercury's there in the 12th house, maybe by accidental dignity. If the 12th house is lined with Pisces, it's like, oh, well, Mercury is having accidental debilitation, so to speak, because Mercury will be in its fall in Pisces, but it's there in Capricorn, even though it's in the 12th house. So maybe here is where some secrets, alrighty, pertaining to some type of joint energy that most people have not discussed or didn't even talk about ever, right? We'll see here, right? Which, man, this is so interesting to see how this energy is moving, bro, as I'm reading it. What we'll actually see here is where people will probably find some balance and closure, really seeing that and valuing their loved ones, or really seeing the values and how to relate to their loved ones. Here, they'll be able to find a more creative and workable means to really, actively balance out, a workable means to, be better loved ones to one another, instead of warring against one another with, as I said previously, using statutory energy that does not pertain to them. All right. That's like, you're supposed to be, coming to a double Dutch competition, but you keep bringing a bazooka and just shooting the people from being able to do double Dutch. That's exactly how it is when it comes to using statutes and applying them to people who are not qualified to be charged, let alone forced or expected to act under statute. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, we have Luna reflecting Neptune. Here is where home and hospitality are reflecting one another. Luna's there in the second house. They're in Virgo, 25 degrees, 43 minutes in Virgo, while Neptune is there, 25 degrees, 43 minutes in Pisces in the eighth house. So here's where your own self values and your joint account energies with a loved one will really take precedence. I think this is where the family will come together to find a means to actually help out a relative who probably needs some type of hospice care, but you're not trusting the hospice care. So this is where people are probably making the decision to, even though they have a fascination and denial with the, help that's needed for their elder loved one, they're making sure they're way more active in showing their presence in the hospice care, or they're actively saying, we'll take care of this elder ourselves. And everyone's coming together to do so. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, we have a Martian Uranian trine. This is amazing, bro. That Sunday and Monday, man. I got it.
Oh yeah, that moon void, that moon void of course too, broski.
Oh yeah, and that was a moon void of course there, right? That last Luna reflecting Neptune moon void of course for 8 hours and 44 minutes, if I'm remembering that correctly. And that 8 hour, 44-minute void of course, guys, is moon void of course is buyer's remorse. So after about 6:20 post meridian Eastern, again, adjust your time zones accordingly. Make no major transactions or decisions. With that being said, here with this Martian Uranian trine that's taking place, we see that Mars is there at 19 degrees, 5 minutes in Capricorn. And it's in the fifth house, this Mars. Mars is exalted here. In traditional astrology, Uranus isn't existing. And there is nothing in Taurus that, has its fall. Except in modern astrology, Uranus finds its fall in Taurus while it's exalted in Scorpio. And that's only in modern astrology. However, with that being said, here with this particular trine, there is a balance in the sudden changes that are necessary, because here in this moment, this is where we will see once again the people will be effectuating change in the structure of alleged government. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing, because the people are going to find the ways that they can do their best to make sure they are intertwined in the intercourse pertaining to government. Intercourse, jurisprudently speaking, denotes communication. And so when it comes to said intercourse, the people are going to do everything in their will to make sure that they are changing what happens with the values or the lack of values pertaining to the everyday operations of alleged government. With that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Alino, Islam.
Already, looks like we got the sun at 10 degrees Aquarius. All right, so 10 degrees Aquarius is the principle of things. So, with the principle of things being the foundation structure, as Brother Hasan just said, people are waking up to who they are. I think the people really better realize that they've been getting robbed all this time. All your leaders who preached the color games played you. They were speaking on the object of things, but they wasn't speaking on the principle of that you're home and that you have foreigners here in your land that have been robbing you through contracts, through labor, and other people has also been participating in that enslavement and enticement. People who are not renting out places to do business. You've been getting robbed too by your landlords. They have laws against making people homeless. They will kick you out if you don't perform. So the people are really realizing that the base of all things has been the operations and administration, and unfortunately participating in it. But now the people can really rise up and, as they like to say these days, stand on business about what things are and what they are not. those who are in positions from a dissolved corporation. Um, what was that? What, 1863? They were dissolved and been dissolved, and Pope dissolved them again in 2014, and they're still doing their fraudulent operations. So the people really got to realize who has the power. Like really study and understand, and get your head out of the sands, because there's work and problems to do. So with Saturn, ruling over this, being in sixth house, we have not been of service to ourselves and our brothers and sisters, and the collective. So it's time to surrender the things that are not truth and put those childish things away and really be serious about being in harmony with ourselves, our loved ones, our friends, family, and nature. Um, because, yeah, slavery is illegal unless you have been convicted, unless you're in prison. But even then, for those that are, in those incarceration institutions, that's because most likely they were trying to do something to try to provide. Now, if you had murdered someone or robbed someone, then yeah, those things most likely will apply. But getting back in harmony with ourselves and nature and being better people. And with that, I yield the floor. Coming off of that moon board, of course, moon will be moving into Libra. Uh, Libra, ooh, is in the 10th. I'm telling you. Once again, this is about your status. Oh, let me lift up. Your public standing. Like people really start reading these things and start questioning these folks. Start going to these meetings that they have that they know no one shows up to. They are literally banking on your ignorance. So this is nothing to be emotional about, but it's to read these things so that you are now more, pardon me, firm and balanced in your thinking and your logic and your intuition, and start standing up. Um, Other people across the world are standing up. People talk about, oh, they're standing up for this, but you look over here and what are people doing? Still doing the same shit. Like the veil's being lifted off with this lunar transit, right? Venus ruling it. Venus in the second. hmm 5 houses away. So, there's a sense of joy that comes, but I think this is going to be after some painful realizations. That's occurring internally, right? Venus is at 8 degrees Capricorn, so it's a Scorpion degree, right? Yeah, the people really just saying that they've been blind to it. They really have been blind to a lot of things, oblivious. It's kind of like someone that likes you and they're kind of showing all the hints. They might not say it with their chest, but they're giving all the hints because they might be afraid to reject them. And then you realize later, dang, they wanted me and I missed out on that. That's what the blindness is to the truth of the standing and the authority, right? Like start researching. Yeah, we know it's not cool, it's not popular, but the things that are not cool and that's not popular is what's causing the disharmony and everything else on this planet. We don't come in here and just say it just so we can look some kind of way. We are really about these things. Um, when it comes to political, social, and economic security for all, people will praise these rich folks and nothing against them, but there is not a foundation for everyone to have those things necessary, right? We see all these things about homeless, how they can build all these things, but are they really doing anything like they say, or are they just feeding off your emotions? Playing, what do you say? Stop playing with my emotions, Smokey. You know, um, like they're playing your emotions, you can't even see it. So, this Libra ingress, I mean, this lunar ingress into Libra is just balancing emotions and really being about justice for everybody, right? And questioning those who are in these positions. And with that, I yield the floor. Next up, we got a lunar Plutonian trine. So those feelings and emotions are now being transformed. There's a transition of what you thought it was and now what it really is. Looks like Luna's in the ninth and Pluto's in the second. So once again, this is back to a foundation in the finances for everyone to have, so that everyone can have an equal opportunity. everyone can have those things that have been provided. You know, why do some people have things and others don't? You know, like, are we really caring and loving about ourselves and others, or are we only about our own interest and we only worry about it until it hits home? You know, like, these are like questions to ask yourself. And yeah, we know we're under occupation dealing with a dead currency system, but until the people wake up and change and we start, you know, shopping within ourselves and trading within ourselves, you know, we're still a part of the system. So it's all about energy, because that's all currency is anyway, is just energy. So um yeah, finding ways to be in harmony, actually taking some of your energy that are in the form of Federal Reserve notes and either furthering your education or donating to those who are bringing or assisting you in whatever ways, right? Jupiter's ruling the fifth from the ascendant, you know, it's at a Taurian degree. So this is back to values. Um, you know, really showing love to those who assist in whatever ways, you know, in your local community, you know, and all across. This is just, as I tell Brother Sign, you know, fuck with those who fuck with you, but being bigger than just yourself. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, so we got a lunar Venusian square. Um, wow, so we got Luna in the 12th, Venus is in the third. So this is Sagittarian degree too. So um yeah, this is kind of finding ways to um enjoy things that are free or cheap in a sense. Um this is probably like going to like your favorite local food spot, or um but going, even going to the library, or even just going within the confines of one's mind. Let's see, what is that? 9 degrees Libra. Let me see the thing. Courage, triumph, right? This is being courageous about the things you find beautiful. But this is also history. So yeah, this is a good time to do some reading, read about some history, you know, pick a time, whether it's not long ago or very far ago. So reading about some history and being courageous, right? Reading about your Moorish history that they falsely term Black history, or whatever else they try to separate things to confuse you. And this will really bring you courage, because if you ever read Rex Alpha 84, they even tell you you are bound to the land by heritage. So thinking all that Pan-African shit and going at, no, you're home and always been home. So really, the frustrations are your limiting beliefs about things inside your mind. So once you let go of those and start to be courageous about your history and stop being in denial, and the things really start flipping. So, um, yeah, that's really where it's at, you know, tearing down the structures of beliefs and now rebuilding it with truth, right? Because if the foundation is lies, that's really stable. You know, so tear it all down, you know, like CM Bay said in Clock of Destiny. Um, Forget everything you ever learned except mathematics, and now start retraining yourself, repenting and having a renewal baptism of the mind. So that now this history, well, the true history rather than reconstructed history, can now shine a light. And with that, I yield the floor.
You know, you're in denial of your ancestry. That's kind of what that.
Oh, we know they are. And they
All
will
right,
fight
guys.
you about it. They will fight you about their lives and beliefs.
Because they're arrogantly ignorant. Um, um, 31st January 2024 at 0700 hours, 19 minutes, and 21 seconds. Luna is conjunct the ascendant at 11 degrees Aquarius. That is an Aquarian degree. Look at that. Again, going back to the astrology, shining a light on astrology. I get it that soul, pardon me, soul is at 11 degrees in Aquarius. And, you know, soul feels much more at home and feels like it's, It has a place in Leo, which is the what's on the seventh house cusp. So the sun's ruling the seventh house cusp from a sign where it may feel out of place. However, to make yourself be even more acceptable of so-called feeling out of place here with that sun there, imagine the sun being your creativity, your heart, maybe even a date, right? Your love interest, right? With this particular degree, you can further reflect on making sure you're having a synastry reading, or even get that reading Brother Sean speaking on, where you where you can focus on things pertaining to your potentials for having love in relationships, right? And I think here we can also look at this as having a sudden change of heart also with this particular sunrise here and the theme for that day. So for the first transit happening prior to sunrise, 6 minutes after 0100 hours, just an hour and 6 minutes after midnight, we have a solar lunar trine. The sun clearly 10 degrees Aquarius, 50 minutes in the fourth house, and Luna's there in the 11th house at 10 degrees Libra, 50 minutes. Here, guys, this is where we can really allow ourselves to, maybe there's some type of electronic property that we're trying to wrap our mind around, or maybe we really just find ourselves up late at night, so to speak, just after midnight, doing some heavy study. And this heavy study on this particular electronic, property that we own, maybe we're using all of them. Maybe we have phone, tablet, and computer all on at the same time to help us with our studies, because we've had some kind of epiphany, so to speak, and we're further going into that to further study ourselves and our interests. And with that, I yield the floor. Finally, we have Luna quartile Mars, Lunar Martian quartile, Moon square Mars, and it's happening at 2100 hours. Well, really 2000 hours, 59 minutes and 45 seconds. So just 15 seconds from 2100 hours, or 9 post meridian Eastern. It's happening at 8:59:45 post meridian Eastern. And Luna is there in the second house at 20 degrees Libra, 41 minutes. That is a Scorpio degree, right? 20 minus 12 gets you 8. That's the Scorpio degree. And also, like the Scorpio degree, is Mars at 20 degrees Capricorn, 41 minutes, just 7 degrees and 19 minutes away from its exaltation degree within Capricorn. Second and fourth houses is where this is taking place, which is a communication amount of houses, right? 3 houses away. And this is where I think the people will find some the people will actively balance the structure in which they are communicating. And this is where I think people will pay closer attention to what it is that they're saying. This may be where people will really make sure they're paying attention to, hey, I know the rules for basketball court, but do I know the rules of jurisprudence court? Let me see what court rules pertaining to equity is. And then, making sure I can have things that are ruled in equity to use as precedent for if I need to be paid out damages, so to speak, quote unquote, paid out damages in what is called a so-called court of law, right? Court away from law, right? Court of law, right? So with that being said, I think this is where the people will probably, know that they're really great at every game except the jurisprudence game. And then by learning the rules and getting much better, or even making the commitment to be really great at it for the sake of themselves, their loved ones, and their community. And with that, I yield the floor. Let me go and check the chat here, because I was not monitoring the chat one bit. Let's actually see what we have here as far as everyone online. Let's see. Let's take a look-see, right? So, and from the jump, Brother Tyro was the first to comment. Brother Tyro says, peace and love, everyone. Peace and love, Brother Tyro. Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean. Peaceful greetings to our beloved
Peace, mother.
Please. Yes, Mother Sahar. Mother Sahar says, greetings to Brother Tyro. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, peaceful greetings, everyone. And so does Mother Janelle Blash L. Brother Maurice Hall Bay says, peace and love. And Roz Blackwell says, peace also. The autochthonous anarchist says, Pax et amor, right? Indeed, peace and love to you also. Brother Maurice Hall Bay says, can't make it up. Just finished the Rico improv video. Gratitude. Indeed, right? Racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations improv video. Got you. Indeed, indeed. I guess that's one of, we did kind of go on that if you're talking about one of our impromptu improv, right? And Mother Sahar says, yes, indeed. We appreciate you all. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions in the chat going once? Guys, remember to get your Mirror Astro Literacy session scheduled with Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey. Mention the promo code REFLECT. Mention the promo code REFLECT. Mention the promo code REFLECT either by speaking to me via phone, text, or email. Because remember, guys, 7HealStar.com isn't going to be lasting too much longer. It's funny, too. You don't want to know what's funny, Brother Sean? I've been getting messages through 7HealStar's, chat assistant that's at the lower right-hand corner. And I'm like, come on, man. People aren't really using our website. So that's why we're willing to let it go, right? And we trust that you can just communicate to us via our emails, right? Brother Sean is mysticalman6@gmail. I'm 7HealStar at gmail.com. And Mystical Man 6 is spelled like it sounds. All right. And 7HealStar, HEAL. For some reason, I've noticed when I say 7HealStar, people put the number 7 and then HILL, not 7HealStar, 7HealStar. I don't have quite the Southern vernacular. So when I say heal, I'm actually meaning HEAL, respectfully. I get it. Sometimes that Southern vernacular make you think someone's saying HILL, but no. 7HealStar at gmail.com to get in contact with and Brother Sean is MysticalMan6. And then, guys, ultimately, also, if you know our social media on Instagram, so you can reach me via 7HealStar. Brother Sean is 720 Astral Healing, right? And that's Astral, ASTRAL Healing, 720 Astral Healing. All right. And it's the same for me, 7HealStar on TikTok, as well as Astrology Street. And Brother Sean is Leo Mercury Moor 711 on TikTok, as well as official 720 Astral Healing on TikTok also. And I'm pretty sure you can, find us on Facebook also, right? Hasan Ghazi Obey and Charlene Mel on Facebook also. And just reach out to us, guys. We're really ready for you to have this, what you need. I'm telling you guys. we're to the point where, I'm telling people even after their sessions with me, I'm like, yo, I'll see you in 3 months. Because I'm realizing 10 years of doing this. And when I first started out, I was like, you only need to come to me once. And now I'm like, I see why. And I comprehend after 10 years of really going over the astrology with myself, loved ones, and those within our community. You guys are going to have to come to me, either every 3 months, every 4 months, or once every 6 months. Coming to us, I and Brother Sean, once every 6 months, makes it twice a year. Once every 4 months, makes it 3 times a year. Once every 3 months, make it 4 times a year. And once you come to the first session, you'll be like, oh my God, I see what this is. And I'm telling you, a weight will come off of your shoulders and off of your mind. So much, you'll probably feel like you're floating. All righty. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twizz eyes. Brother Sean, anything?
Nah, just, you said it, bro. Like, come to us, and, you'll definitely be more, what's the word for it? It'll be more than what you thought it was. And I mean, if y'all watch our many amounts of, presentations, you already know what we're about, what I'm saying, when it comes to the astrology, the history, or the civics, it's just probably something within you like, oh, are they going to be tough? Or no, man, we just, super chill and passionate about what we do, like we've got over so many videos. So it's not like we're not new
480.
to
This makes
this,
number
you
480
know,
today.
we're not new to this or whatever, you know, like we do this really for the people because this is bigger than us. So, you know, if you take an interest in the things and if you don't get a session, you know, you can donate or even refer somebody that you might know until, you know, you got whatever to come. Like we're willing to work with you, you know. So it's just, are you like Mars being in Capricorn, are you truly motivated? But I yield, bro.
And the questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. I have one, guys. We're still leaving it open for you to join the Universally Professional Astrology Community, TUPAC, by bringing a buddy. The only way you can join TUPAC for the lifetime membership, where it's 125 for you, is to bring someone else that'll be 125 for also. Because other than that, just coming by yourself, it's 250. Alrighty, for a lifetime membership with TUPAC, where you'll have access to a lot that we've done already. Alrighty, on we have, I think, 19 different discussions already uploaded. So you guys will get your hands on the Moon and Mercury, the Quick Thinking Moon and Mercury workshop that we've done, and the other 19 discussions that we've done also. All righty, that's what you're getting off the break when joining TUPAC. All righty, and so it is the buddy pass, right? Bring a buddy. However, you and your buddy will each need to bring 125 units in lieu of lawful money each for a lifetime membership with TUPAC, and we'll make sure that you guys have some things that you actually need. All righty. And with that being said, no more questions, comments, and or suggestions. This is where I and Brother Sean say, be yourselves and
show some love or the donates.
And donate. Oh, y'all still screen sharing. Hold on. I just realized that the screen share is still going on. Yes, be yourselves and donate, right? So with that being said, guys, we love you all on behalf of 7HealStar and Brother Hasan Ghazi Bay. This is Brother Sean Aline L. On behalf of Brother Corey Bay, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, and Brother Armalava Bay. This is where we say we love you all. Make sure when you go to eat and get your grub or get those victuals, eat healthily and speak over your food to transform and do the things that needs to be good for you and yours and your spirit and your body, as well as make sure when you go to rest and recharge well. All right. So with that being said, guys, we love you all. This is where I will say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.